In today's session, we're going to be looking at SOC reports, right? And in specifically, we're going to be looking at the different types of SOC reports and which one is relevant to us as security professionals, right? So first of all, what the SOC stands for? It stands for Service Organization Controls. And these reports are essentially looking at controls within an organization. They're done by licensed CPA firms, so think of these as done by the big four consulting firms, okay? And it's voluntary, right? It's not mandatory, it's optional, but in today's day and age, almost all the service organizations do these SOC reports, right? And for example, if you look at AWS, GCP, Azure, all three of them actually do that. Also, it's designed for service organizations, right? And it was developed by the Association of International Certified Public Accountants, right? That's who it was actually developed by. And so let's look at these SOC reports. So we have the SOC 1 report, we have the SOC 2 reports, and we have the SOC 3 reports, right? Now, when we look at these reports, first of all, the SOC 1 report is for the internal controls for financial reporting, right? So you're looking at the financial instruments aspects of it. This report is not for us as security professionals, right? What is for us is the bottom two, the SOC 2, right? So these are looking at these security controls, right? And in specifically, when we look at security controls, we're talking about confidentiality, integrity, availability, and privacy, and that's where we're looking at. So the SOC 2 and the SOC 3 reports is what we're interested in, but they do differ quite significantly. Now, the SOC 2 report, there are a Type 1 report and a Type 2 report. The Type 1 report describes the design of the security controls, right? So how they're actually designed, right? And the SOC Type 2 report looks at the implementation of those security controls, the actual configurations, right? So if you think about it, if a service organization, like for example, AWS, Azure, GCP, and they have these Type 1 reports, the design is showing us what design is in place for those controls in the environment. But the Type 2 report is actually how they implement the controls. And imagine, if you think about it, it's the keys of the kingdom. If that was to get into the wrong hands, you can essentially, hack your way into that system, right? So really, the Type 2 report is the one that actually provides all the actual juicy information, so as to speak, right? Now, what most often actually happens is these vendors, like for example AWS, GCP, and Azure, right? What they do is they provide a SOC 3 report, which is the attestation, right? Which is basically stating that the security controls are in place, right? So it's not giving you any more information, it's just an attestation, right? In most cases, that may not be enough, right? So what I would recommend is always try to get a copy of the Type 2. And vendors do actually release these type of Type 2 implementation reports, right, under NDA agreements, okay? So really, the SOC 2 report is designed to be the kind of like the private one, and the SOC 3 report is the public one with the attestation.